out, open your eyes. Put your hand out. Your hand out. Ready, and action.
The film festival may reach people that might not otherwise learn about the Child Abuse Network. But so they might be interested in doing a film, and then they go and learn more about the film festival, and then they start learning more about what the Child Abuse Network does.
My husband was watching the news one night, and the Cannes Film Festival from France was on, and he said, you know what? You need to do that with the Child Abuse Network, and the initials are CAN. It could be a play on words. And I said, that's a terrific idea. Who in the world could we get to do it? And it took a couple of years for it to get off the ground. But we've been going strong now, and we have a whole new format with the young film producers in town and film and directors, and I think it's really a wonderful event. We're going to have children acting out the parts of all of the players that are involved in making a film. And they're going to be acting this out while being filmed, and that will be the commercial. The commercial that is being filmed today they're calling it a teaser, but it's trying to get people to understand what the Cannes Film Festival is all about. You know, there are lots of film festivals in the region, but this is something different. This is really it's focused on a different aspect of films, even though it's open to all ages. But having the children as the focus is really important, and it's for a children's cause. What better? So this filming today is really to bring it all together to show it's about films and it's about children. The Child Abuse Network is Tulsa's Child Abuse Crisis Center. When abuse happens to a child, they're brought to our center as part of their investigation. The services that a child receives at the center is first an interview. In their own words, they can tell us what happened. And the most important thing that we do is we record that interview so that the child doesn't have to say over and over again what happened to them. The second thing that happens is the child has a medical exam. And this is basically with very specialized doctors in child abuse. They can examine the child and listen to the child and determine whether they believe that abuse could have happened.
Well, they provide several positive programs for the younger kids, and they've got a lot of good counseling programs. I had to take my son down there because he was abused by an ex-boyfriend of mine, and that's where we all started involved in their counseling.
One time, I think it was in the 3rd grade, it was my friend Ashley, and she used to come to school all the time with bruises on her, and one day she just didn't come to school, and everybody was wondering what happened. I've never seen her since then.
One day I was walking in through the waiting area, and there was a child there who was sitting very quietly on a chair, not playing with any of the toys that we had, or looking through any of the books or magazines. And I asked them if they were okay, and she looked at me and she said, "I'm okay, I'm just thinking." And I said, "Well, you know, sometimes it's nice to just be quiet and think about things." She said, "Well, yeah, but sometimes it really helps to talk about them too." And I said, "Well, did you get a chance to talk about them?" She said, "Yes, and thank you very much for letting me talk about them."
Like, there's this movie theater that we did the Child Abuse Network at last year, and there was a picture of children's shoes everywhere from the children that died from being abused. And so I know it's really that bad.
Well, they've taught us how to communicate with each other and how to kind of overcome our situation and still remain as a family.
The purpose of the Cannes Film Festival is a couple of things. First of all, it's to make people aware of the Child Abuse Network, that we exist, that we're there, that when abuse happens, there is a very wonderful, child-friendly place filled with experts that can help children and their families.
This is kind of a friendlier way for people to find out about it. People can become involved and help fund the investigations by also funding the film festival.
In Tulsa, Child abuse happens every day. Every week we have about 45 children that come to our center. Every week, and we're just talking about Tulsa. That's not something that people want to hear about the community and the city that they have grown to love, they've grown up in, and that they love. The only way we're going to get a handle on this is to make it stop and to take responsibility for keeping our kids safe. It happens, and it happens a lot. We all have to do our part to help protect children. There are things that adults can do to protect children. We shouldn't leave it up to the teachers. We shouldn't leave it up to just a few people and say somebody else is going to take care of it. We should all be on the watch for children and make sure that they're protected.
When I was shooting for the piece, there were a few things that right when I saw them, I knew that I would just have to use them in the piece. In the middle of the piece, I believe, there's a part where a boy named Isaiah is about to sit in a chair and he falls back and completely plummets onto the ground. And all the kids are laughing at him and he's embarrassed, and he plays it off pretty well. And I just knew the second that I had seen that, I was like, this is what children are. And I think it correlates with what the story is about, that children are such innocent and fun beings and that we need to protect them.